great article about injecting human growth hormone to stay young, except they never say where they're getting it from. Makes you wonder if they're sucking the youth out of small brown children somewhere so that actors and trophy wives can stay in business.
Times have changed. Scaring isn't enough anymore. But kidnapping children? I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die, and I'll silence anyone who gets in my way.
Silence.
I'll take all of you. And I'll feast on your flesh as I feed on your fear.
It's in front of us.
Pain purifies steam. Fear too, so you understand.
What?
Sisters, prepare.
Not hocus pocus.
Tis her life force.
Always the children.
I never looked
So
at
if
it
you
that
don't
way.
know, adrenochrome is pretty much adrenaline that gets oxidized in the blood and then extracted. And word has it that the elites use it to stay youthful and immortal. I know, it's just a conspiracy while celebrities admit to using foreskin to look younger.
Sandra Bullock?
Pushing into the
Yeah.
skin.
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby. It's like,
Yeah. See, the essential part of that is it came from a baby. There are studies that suggest that giving an old person young blood can actually reverse aging and heal the old. And it's funny how the Bible specifically talks about not drinking blood. Maybe vampires are real. Maybe this is the reason.
Thank you to Rising.
So hungry. There's nothing to eat. It's gotta be something yummy out there.
Boeing, you name it, you look at them. And this is the part that I gotta talk to the world about. That's the tail wagging the dog, partner. Or y'all worried about followers and likes and who's on TikTok and Instagram. Mind you, when I was growing up, and Instagram was real simple. Here's a 20 bag, here's an Instagram. So I know I'm gonna give you this and you gonna get high. Now it's like, hey, look, by the way, here's an Instagram. I want you to picture the bag, the product in it, and I promise you it's gonna get you high. And I hope everybody wake up with what we got going on, and bottom line, what it is, people so connected, they disconnected. And they take so many pictures, they miss the big picture.
That man said people so connected, they disconnected. That's all. This man right here.
On the CDC's website, they had an article titled Zombie Preparedness. Do y'all remember this? Do y'all remember how
I
the
do.
CDC had literally,
I
they had
do.
an article that said zombie preparedness. They were saying, no, it has nothing to do with actual zombies.
Shout out to
It
my
only
mom.
has to do with a situation where, you have to prepare for famine or anything like that, or emergency situations. Why would you put zombie preparedness out of all the things?
Yeah.
Then they came out a few months after that and said that diggers have unearthed a ancient virus, zombie virus, that is 50,000 years old. Okay, I'm gonna just tell you this. Again, at this point, it's like, we need to stop listening to this government because they're trolling the hell out of us. Before that, if you go back even further, before Event 201 in 2019, you had a situation in 2017 where Mr. Anthony Fauci, one of the biggest criminals in the world, opened his mouth at a conference. 2017, he said very soon in the near future, not maybe, not if, not possibly, but we will have a pandemic.
There will be a surprise outbreak.
It's crazy.
Given, as you heard from the introduction, that I have been around for a while and have had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure of serving in 5 administrations, I thought I would bring that perspective to the topic today, is the issue of pandemic preparedness. And if there's one message that I want to leave with you today, based on my experience, and you'll see that in a moment, is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak. And I hope by the end of my relatively short presentation, you will understand why history, the history of the last 32 years that I've been the director of NIAID, will tell the next administration that there's no doubt in anyone's mind that they will be faced with the challenges that their predecessors were faced with.
We will have an outbreak. He said, not maybe,
Yeah.
but certainly. This little evil man, how do you know? 2017, Mr. Fauci? All of a sudden you just came out with that and you just said, we knew. How do you know? Because you got the damn receipt. It turned out years later that Anthony Fauci knew because of emails that were obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request that he knew of gain of function research that was being funded by the United States government through certain organizations to the Wuhan.
Because when you get down to it, part of all religions the same. Tell you what to eat, pray, how this imperfect clay that we call man.
A version of that has happened many times.
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person.
That's not funny.
Far, far away. And they somehow figured out how to extract.
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
Thank the devil and all the Dark Lords who
Don't do the devil stuff.
gave her this award, allowed her to feast on the flesh of the innocent.
Welcome to the Satanic Cult Awards, ladies and gentlemen. All hail the Dark Lord.
What the
Good
heck?
evening, godless sodomites.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter?
I'm reading the prompter in here. You can read that pablum. It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Nothing new under the sun.
It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati.
I am Lumino, head of the Illuminati.
You're just playing, Perky.
Hello, my name is Alfred Bielik, more commonly known as Al Bielik. Original family name is Edward Cameron. I have been involved in the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, time travel, alien connections to the Montauk Project, and some other projects, all of which have been secret over the years, most of which have never been declassified.
This is his story.
I wound up in the 28th century, and this was in a time period of 2749 to 2751 AD. Talk about changes in civilization, society, and everything else. It was drastically changed from what we saw in 2137, as this is now 600 years later. The cities were enormous. The cities were beautiful. They had ground-based cities, much as we have always had them. But they also had something else, floating cities. Floating cities, due to anti-gravity techniques being perfected sufficiently that they could float an entire city, which was perhaps not as large as any of our current cities. It was round, or very nearly round. But it floated on this platform, and they could move the city any place they wanted, remaining floating in the air, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above the ground, perhaps, or a little less, depending on what they wanted. But the size of the city was vertical rather than horizontal, 2,200 stories high. That's about 2.5 miles. The cities could move anywhere on the planet. Basically, they stayed hovering and floating. If they didn't like a particular location, they moved somewhere else. There wasn't that much traffic in moving cities, I can assure you, because the world population in that era, the 28th century, was only 500 million. And I was instructed later that that was where they had held it for centuries. There would be no more than approximately 500 million population. Some of the features of this, let's start from the political standpoint. As I learned, all of these cities, whether they're ground-based cities, which the majority were, because they had to do manufacturing, they had to have agriculture and various other things to supply the needs of civilization. But all of them, whether floating or ground-based, were rather interesting in their governmental form. They had essentially no government. There's no government as we know it today. There was no money, there's no banks, there's no political jurisdictions, and there was resolved down to what would be best called a city-state structure, where the city is the state, and any other cities from that one are independent and operate in their own independent manner. So that was the major change there. There was no elected government. There was no appointed government. There was no government as we had ever seen it in the past. As I found out, each city was run by an intelligent computer, synthetic intelligence, synthetic consciousness, a highly radioactive crystalline structure. Who built them, I had no idea. Nobody seemed to know, but they've been there for hundreds of years.
And this computer ran the entire city. There were guidelines set down.
Yeah, y'all went crazy.
It'll be about a month later, all the main CEOs in the world, partner, major companies, resigned. About 1,000 and some change. Talking about Disney, Hulu, Microsoft, Nike, Wells Fargo, Boeing, you name it, you look at them. And this is the part that I gotta talk to the world about. That's the tail wagging the dog, partner. While y'all worried about followers and likes and who's on TikTok and Instagram. Mind you, when I was growing up, Instagram was real simple. Here's a 20 bag, here's an Instagram. So I know I'm gonna give you this and you gonna get high. Now it's like, hey, look, by the way, here's an Instagram. I want you to picture the bag, the product in it, and I promise you it's gonna get you high. And I hope everybody wake up with what we got going on, and bottom line, what it is, people so connected, they disconnected. And they take so many pictures, they miss the big picture.
That man said people so connected, they disconnected. That's all. This man.
Joe Biden passed away, and the woman will be president, Kamala Harris. Let me know in the comment section. Trust me, it's coming.
No! No!
Yeah, imagine if we are coming to a time like this.
Practical Trump plan. It's US dollars! Absolutely worthless! But we can never attain that ultimate grace while there is hatred in our hearts for each other.
I get it. I reach it.
Simpsons.
After plunging 75 points this morning.
Ain't that how it always is when you invest?
Means up, and 75 means 200. The firm declared super duper bankruptcy.
How bad is it, Secretary Lighthouse? We're broke. The country is broke.
Ocean Incorporated.
Okay.
You heard the monkey. Make the trade.
Yeah, people have been doing this for a while. Look at zombies.
3 months away. 6 weeks.
Going on this right.
There's always
right
one
now.
harvest. Anyway, when the 4 horsemen ride, we want you and your collaterals right here with us.
In all our life behind a fake wall.
Not the basement, look, Winger.
See? These are our bug-out bags. And here is everything we need to survive.
Survival?
Sorry, kid. It's the end of the world! God loves you! He's gonna kill you!
I see. Well, we have 30 seconds left. Any other cuckoo yip yap?
Oh, here's one. Revelation 6:13. Just before the rapture, the stars will fall to the earth.
Enjoy those store names if I didn't have a job to do. I'm sorry, I have so many nightmares. I've done unspeakable things, from Buenos Aires to the Ukraine.
It's best to concentrate on what you do have.
I have recurring flashbacks to a nightmare's past.
That's funny, because I have reoccurring flash forwards to a nightmare's future. Man, it really gets me.
They showing you that it's gonna happen in California first.
I don't have your money.
Silicon Valley.
It's in Bill's house and Fred's house.
What do you mean the bank is out of money? Insolvent? You don't have enough cash for the next
This is
three
funny, Jeff.
customers?